Good morning, everybody, and welcome to RVTV. How are we, John? How are we, Simon?
Good,
John's
thanks, mate.
good. Simon's good.
Good stuff. Very glad to hear it. Before we start, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell thingy, etc., etc. To be honest, I don't think there's anyone watching at the moment, so forget what I just said. Obviously,
the ticker there, Jen, says that we've been going for 7 minutes. We haven't been going for 7 minutes, have we? Does it say that on yours? Yeah, does it say that on your screen? I hope my Toby Anstis story wasn't broadcast live to the nation.
Oh my God, I think it was. No, I'm joking.
I've only got 2 minutes on mine.
Oh.
Sorry about that, Jessica.
Yeah, sorry, Jess.
He's told you should be apologising.
Okay, then. Let's get down to business. One word. Kane.
Kane. Rings a bell.
He was that bloke who had the red face paint on in WWE.
Yeah.
Undertaker's brother.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's been sold by our wonderful chairman 2 days before the start of the season. Again, him doing great things for the football team.
And wonderful things for his pockets.
And brilliant things for a new hotel, a new cinema, and maybe a Tesco's. Or Tottenham doesn't have a Marks and Spencer's, does it? So,
Should do.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. They get loads of business. Right, who wants to start?
Well, it depends where we go, doesn't it? It depends where we go down the Levy route or the tribute to Kane route. I think from the Levy point of view, I don't understand why it's taking this on. First meeting with Bayern was weeks ago, or at least a couple of weeks ago. Why not do it then? Why the second meeting? And obviously, what we can probably have an educated guess at is because he wanted more frigging money out of him.
Yeah,
it's deliberate. It's called brinksmanship negotiation. I've said on there before. My ex-girlfriend's company, they run seminars and training in brinksmanship negotiation. And Levy's been on it, and all of his staff have been on it. Then the nearer it got to the beginning of the season, he knew the price would go up. So he's basically sabotaged our start to the season again, hasn't he? Just to make a bit of extra money.
And it's always the way, isn't it?
It's tactical. Yeah.
It always happens. It's like we're playing catch up from day one because we lose our best player.
It's all very well him saying, we had a contingency plan in mind. We always knew he was leaving, so we were planning behind the scenes without him. But the feel-good factor, the team were playing beautifully in pre-season, knocking the ball around, all these shots we're having and stuff. And he's just kind of taken the steam out of the whole club, hasn't he, by selling one of our greatest ever players 24 hours before the season starts. He doesn't realise the impact that has on the whole club, does he? The players, they've known Kane for 10 years, haven't they? They're obviously a popular member of the team, and now they've suddenly gone. Get on with it. Here you go. Tomorrow, here you go. Out you go.
Yeah, but they would have known as well. They would have known as well that he was going to have had some time to a little bit of time to get used to. I think from the psychological point of view, from that, John, I think it's more of a case of, looking to Ange, literally wholly dependent on Angelus, and just saying, what do we do now? Because, as you say, we've been 10 years with him, and we don't know what to do without him in the team. He plays pretty much every single game. What do we do? And this is where it's going to test Angelus as a manager, because the advantage he's got is that he hasn't been there for 10 years. He hasn't been even in the Premier League for 10 years. So he's not known that. So he doesn't really, it's not he doesn't care about that, because he spoke very highly of Kane as in the press conferences and stuff. But he knows he's got a plan. I've got faith that he's got a plan to be without Harry Kane. In fact, he gave them, I don't know if you've seen many of his press conferences, but a recent one where I think a reporter said, so what are you going to do now? Bring in a like-for-like striker? And he looked at me and went, mate, I don't think there's a like-for-like striker in the world, mate, to be honest. But I was like, yeah. It's true, isn't it? Like, there's no one like Kane. The closest is Messi, and you know he hasn't been Messi-esque for a good few years. As Kane, I think when you look at the likes of Gary Mabbott, I know it's not a like-for-like comparison, but Gary Mabbott last game was played when he was 37. So Kane could have another 5 years now, easy.
Yeah, because he looks after himself as well, doesn't he? He's not one that you see falling out of nightclubs and out with the dolly birds. I mean, he's still with his school sweetheart.
When he kept doing his ankle, though, I don't know if you remember at the time that it was. I think it was Poch that said that they'd done so to fuse his ankle or something, hadn't they? And then because he kept turning his ankle and breaking it or something, so they'd fused his ankle. So surely you'd think he's going to have problems with his ankle when he's older, or even arthritis-wise, if they've done something to his ankle to make it a bit more secure to play with. So I don't know if he'll be able to play. He seems to think he'll be able to play until he's 40, doesn't he? But don't we all?
Yeah. Well, who was the last player well, there's this Japanese guy who I think is still playing at 45.
And older than that. He's older than that now. Yeah, he's older than 50, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, in a decent league, you get goalkeepers who play to 40. I mean, Buffon, Shilton, I think
Friedel.
Who, sorry?
Friedel. Brad Friedel, he played quite late, didn't he? Yeah.
I met him.
He was on Sky Sports News yesterday talking about Kane and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay. Is he?
You met him? I can't think what his angle was really.
Okay. I met him in the Tesco's just down from my work when I used to live in when I used to work in the city near Monument Station, and I'm in Tesco's getting my lunch, and there he is, and I walked up to him and I was like, "You're right, Brad. Can I have your autograph, mate?" And he looked me up and down like he just scraped me off the bottom of his shoe. He's like,
"Yeah,
all right." I'm not going to do an American accent. I was just about to do an Australian accent. So, he's like, "Yeah, okay. Who do I make it out to?" I said, "Jens." And all I had was this scrap of cardboard in my pocket, and I lost it a long time ago. So, what can you say?
Yeah, I like Friedel.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah, he was he was a solid goalkeeper. Okay, he was stuck to his line most of the time, but great reflexes. But anyway, we digress.
If we getting back to point, pragmatically, if you take into consideration how many clubs are there in the world, professional football clubs in the world, so if we say just for example, so there's 1,000 professional football clubs in the world. We know there's a lot more, but 999 of those haven't got Harry Kane, have they? So they survive okay without him. So if that's obviously what Angie's looking at, like I've never had him before, so I'm not going to miss him. I just got to get on with building a team that score goals, play football. You know, that's the way you got to look at it. Isn't it? Not everyone else in the world seems to do all right without Harry Kane, don't they? So
that's the way we've got to look at it as well. You know, we've got to look at. You know, I don't know about you, but when we've been playing crap, you know, whenever, you know, Dyer and Sessegnon are in the same frigging team on a match day, and you look at it, but then you see Kane on the team sheet, and you're like, oh, okay, we've got a chance to win this. We're going to have to think completely differently now. You know, we've got a whole new mindset coming in, and we have to have almost kind of blind faith in the manager that, you know, he knows what he's doing. Not saying that he's going to produce instant results. I don't really follow his history or anything, but you know, if he has, from my understanding, if he hasn't won anything in the first season, it follows pretty quick in the second. So I just think it's going to be weird though, isn't it? Like, you know, because Richarlison, you can't, if it's 0-0 or 1-0 down, 10 minutes to go, and you're like, we need somebody like Kane to you know, pop up here and just magic. And we can't rely on Richarlison. I think it's going to have to come from midfield. Like I said before, we're stacked in midfield, so those chances are going to come from midfield now instead of Harry Kane starting a move or picking it up himself, you know, in his own half and starting a move. It's going to be like a passing move throughout midfield, and then I don't know, Lo Celso swinging a sweet through ball through, and hopefully Richarlison scores off his arse or something, you know.
Oh, we've still got good options. You've got Maddison, Sonny, Kulusevski. They've got magic in them, haven't they, to create something out of nothing. We've still got.
If Sonny's operation has worked and he's not hampered by injury anymore, okay, he's still getting on a little bit, but you know that there's always a bit of magic in that bloke.
Oh, yeah.
And to have him and Kane in the same team, how the fuck have we not won anything?
Yeah, it's literally the best partnership in the Premier League ever. Yeah. Fact, and I'm like, oh my god. I mean, the answer is the very simple answer is we've been in that opportunity a few times, and nobody turns up on a big day, even Kane. So
no, that's very true. Right, so sticking with that, do you think he may try and integrate Scarlett into the team as well?
He mentioned him in the press conference, and he said it's time for new people to step up to the plate, and he mentioned Scarlett. So
did he? Okay,
but then he's got the new Argentinians coming in as well. So
did you see that finish, Scarlett against Shakhtar? I mean, bloody hell! He didn't have it all his own way at Portsmouth. He started off pretty well, scored a few goals, but the Portsmouth fans were raving about him because he puts in a shift every game. And if we compare him to Barry, who's just left, he didn't exactly set the world on fire when he went out on loan, did he? So
no, he looks bigger and stronger. He's had the best possible mentor, hasn't he? So Kane to show him what he does to practice for a game, all his preparation he does, his shooting drills and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's passed all that on to Scarlett. So he's got a good grounding behind him, hasn't he?
Just going back, did you see Harry in the car when he was in Munich? And there's all these people snapping pictures of him. He looked like a deer in the headlights. He looked absolutely terrified, which is understandable. Yeah. You know, he's been in his comfort zone in where's he from? He's Chigwell, isn't he? So he's just outside, or Chigwell, but he's just out. He's more Essex than he is London, but still, you know, Tottenham was his home. London's been his home since he was a nipper. And then, he has to go over there with those sausage munchers. But anyway.
You see him yesterday, like when the referee gave a penalty and he like went running to the ref and he can't speak German, so he couldn't say anything to the ref, could he? He's like, there's loads of memes going around, like Kane when he realised he can't speak German and that he wanted to have a go at the referee kind of thing.
All he needs to say is Arschloch, which means arsehole. Yeah,
does it? Arschloch. It doesn't make sense. Still, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you go to Bayern Munich?
Yeah. I think he's been pushed out the door. I think that Levy was so worried about missing out on that money. But as someone has said, if he got us back into the Champions League for next season, you kind of get there, maybe not close. Well, how much would you get? 50 million, something like that. So
with sponsorship and stuff. But Levy's all about risk management there. So if he's got £100 million in the hand, or a possible 100 million next season, he's going to take the bird in the bush, isn't he, rather than the two in the hand.
Yeah,
he's an accountant, and he's going to take the guaranteed 100 mil.
Yeah.
Apparently, did you see all those tweets from Richard Cracknell? Those, because he kind of knows. I think he knows the Kane family, and he said that Levy, he is completely Levy out now. He said some of the things Levy was doing to try and scupper the move and like change the ballpark at the last figure, and some of the things he did to the Kane family. So, like he said, he's disgusted. It's absolutely disgusted him. So he's proper dead. Levy out now, isn't he?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. God knows what he did.
Yeah. Well, again, it's with Levy. It's not about people, is it? It's about money.
No. Well, he said from speaking to the Kane family, he won't be surprised if Levy's still here. He said there's no way Kane will come back now after how he treated him at the end there, or whatever he did to him. They said there's no chance of Kane coming back while Levy's here. And he said he's just pleased to get away from him, I think.
Even though Kane left it open from what he said there, you know.
He did, he'd want to come back because he's obviously the same as us, Simon. He's a Tottenham fan. He doesn't want Levy anywhere near the football club, does he?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to piss us off. But you could see his goodbye message was tinged with a bit of anger. You could tell, couldn't you? I don't know if you watched it. It wasn't as genuine and as emotional as you thought it'd be. I think that Cracknell said you can tell that you can still see the anger at Levy in that video. Like when he did it, he's like he couldn't fully give his true thoughts because he's so pissed off at how difficult they try and make it at the last minutes for him to leave and scupper the arrangements and stuff.
Yeah.
But you hear that a lot, don't you? The way when people that leave the club, there's no way they'll come back and work for him again because of what he does and stuff.
Mm.
It's the whole culture and the whole environment's just
poisonous.
Poisonous, yeah.
Can't get rid. It's like I was saying before earlier in the chat on Facebook. I think the name Levy should be synonymous with something you can't get rid of. So shout out to Kev, who's got migraine issues at the moment. But we should call things like that, like bad pain that you can't get rid of, like a Levy. You know, I've got a Levy. You know, there'll be somebody at work that you can't stand, he won't leave. You know,
he's a Levy. Yeah.
He's a Levy. Yeah.
We'll call him Daniel.
Yeah, he's not wanted, but he won't leave. Yes, a Levy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to something which I thought was kind of nice. Son as captain. Do you agree with that, guys?
Well, we've spoken about it before, haven't we? Where it seems like a logical choice, but he's not like almost too emotional to be captain from that point of view. You know, you look at the contrast between him and someone like Højbjerg, who is constantly clapping and flapping his arms around and trying to get the players going. Son hasn't done that up to now because he's so focused on getting his wizardry right, you know, and on point and everything, which is how it should be. I think it's a wrong decision. I think if Højbjerg's staying, it should be him. I think Porro would be a good choice. I think when you look at before, when Son was off form and the pressure, especially during that time when he's playing for South Korea as well, and we can't even comprehend the amount of pressure he has on him from a South Korea point of view when you've got literally a whole country on your back.
And his dad.
Probably
worse than the whole country.
So to make him captain, I think is pressure I'm not sure that he can handle, to be honest. I worry about it, really.
Imagine his dad. He's probably putting together some training, isn't he, in leadership and stuff like that. The son, he's got to do all these drills and stuff to do with leadership. Yeah.
I need you for 24 hours. No sleep.
Leadership training, leadership commandation.
He's sitting down with the captain of the South Korean army or something.
Yeah, he probably would. I'm not even joking. I bet he would. I bet he would. That's the kind of thing you do, isn't it?
He's probably sitting down with Kim Il-jung or whatever. Yeah, that's a leader. Don't listen to anyone else. If you don't like what they're saying, chop his head off. Lovely.
Imagine if Sonny comes out with a King John Hume haircut.
And one of those suits as well.
Yeah.
It's not a new trend. Yeah. I thought it was interesting that they made that they've got Madison as one of the vice captains. From what I'm hearing, he's made a really, really big impression in the changing room. The dressing room. He's really positive and he's really, really happy to be here. I mean, we spoke about this last week or whenever we did the last show. He's definitely growing on me because before he was not one of my favourite players.
He's slotted in like he's been there for ages.
Yeah.
Looks really at home.
Yeah. And the only problem I got with him is he comes from Coventry and we all remember 1987, don't we? So,
Try not to.
Is that the 87 cup? Oh, that's the 81, isn't it? You got on there. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, because the 87 cup final, some had Holston, some had nothing. Some were made by Adidas, the other ones were made by Hummel. Yes. Yeah, what a. Do you think Levy was involved with that, with Mr. Byright?
Mr. Byright, yeah.
He supplied the kits.
Has the real story ever come out about that? We'll have to ask Gary Mabbutt or someone if at one of these like fan events that why they had half the kit with Holston missing and numbers not on them and
Jens will ask him. He's his best mate.
Oh yeah, when he rings you up next, mate. When he rings you up next,
I'll give him a buzz. We've got a hotline between each other, you know.
Did you see the podcast with him? The interview on Spurs Play?
No, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen his one yet. No.
Really good. Really good.
Yeah.
I've watched the first couple. We had Ledley was on, Money and Skippy. I've watched those two. I haven't seen the Mabbutt one yet.
Maybe Skippy will take over from Kane with those goals that he scored. against Barcelona. Bloody hell.
I thought Skip might have half a nod at the captaincy, but he's obviously not guaranteed to play every week at the moment, is he? That's the only thing.
Can I just say about Skipley's second goal? I don't know if you watch it on the replay and stuff, but I noticed it when it was like not live. But it's a bullet header, isn't it? And it just goes like, it breaks the back of the net. I love the keeper, and the keeper's just like not expecting it at all. So he just manages to get half a hand up, and then it goes in over his head, and he just goes like he's just been shot. It's brilliant.
It was a great move, wasn't it? Because he started, then he played it out wide, and then arrived in the box. It's Brian Robson-esque, wasn't it? Like playing it out and then arriving with a powerful header in the box there.
I love that though, don't you think? Like it shows the mentality of the lad. Like, you know, you look at his previous couple of seasons, and he's like on the edge of like going down a Harry Winks route, and he's thought to himself, new manager, get myself bedded in here. You know, I'm competing amongst some amazing players for a packed midfield here, and he's gone out of his way over and above to establish himself, or at least put himself at the forefront of Angelus's mind. Yeah, and it's testament to his mental character, I think, and his personality. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I love the lad.
Marino and Conte both loved him as well, don't you? So he's impressed everyone with his attitude, his work rate, and his commitment. So
because we've seen it, haven't we? He could have just faded into obscurity and gone to, you know, I mean, Middlesbrough or some crappy team like that.
Don't say that, mate. Bloody hell, they'll be knocking your door down with pitchforks.
Bricks through the windows.
Yeah, I'm looking out for them. Yeah, I mean, he could easily do that, and we've seen it so many times. But he's determined, and he's determined. Like, I'm going to be a part of this team. At least on the bench, which is brilliant. Love that.
To have the season that he had last season, it wasn't a good one, was it?
No.
But it seems that he's well up for it with this new manager. I think that just, you know, Conte was
he was unlucky with injuries when he kept getting those really weird injuries, and then come back, and then one of them he stepped on something and it split his webbing on his foot or something, or his heel, and he just got really unfortunate injuries. He could never get a run of games together, could he?
Yeah. We've digressed a bit. Obviously, back to Son. What do we think of him on the left there, coming in, like in the pre-season games?
Yeah, I think. Well, because I don't think he showed much in pre-season.
No, not at
all. It felt like it could have been anybody doing what he was doing there. Do you know what I mean? It's not where he can show off his best. I mean, I know like a lot of his amazing goals have been cutting in from the left onto his right and curling it in, the classic Sonny goal. But I hope it's not as well. We'll see today, won't we? But
where else is he going to play though? Because I think Kulusevski's got the right nailed down. Madison's got obviously injuries permitting.
It could be that like with Richarlison tucked in. It could be the two up front with Richarlison and Son just behind. You know.
Okay.
Which you'd see once in a blue moon, but even then I'm not. Even then I'm not sure. You know, because we need somebody. Richarlison needs somebody that's going to be like a Sam Vokes for Wycombe Wanderers. You know, somebody who's going to not run 2,000 miles an hour, but he's going to win every header, knock it down to you, brilliant header of a ball, flick it onto you, and then you've got like one, maybe two touches before you shoot, and you're in. You know, that kind of thing.
I'm not sure we're going to play that type of football, though. I don't think you're going to see a lot of long ball. I don't think you're going to see.
No, but I think that's what Richarlison needs in order to be successful. I don't see him being successful any other way.
On the floor, yeah. Well, he is good in the air, isn't he? But I think he's got a good first touch, Richarlison. And
has he?
You don't think so?
You sure?
I thought he had a pretty decent.
His first touch is to fall over. That's what it is.
So you're a big fan then, Simon, yeah?
Well, I mean, you said it yourself, Jens, a few times now. I think he's been our biggest waste of money. 60 million, like, for what?
No, I don't think I said that. I think I said Ndom Bailey or Rebrov. But yeah, no, I know he is. He has been. He hasn't exactly lit up the stage, has he? Since he's been here. Sorry?
Yet.
Yeah. Because as John was saying beforehand, he hasn't where he's played before. He's played off the left. To actually have him as a central striker, because he plays as a centre forward for Brazil, doesn't he?
He does. Yeah.
So he didn't do too badly then, did he?
He's had quite a few games with us as a central striker,
but that's mainly coming on as a substitute. So yeah, different players.
And as a bit part player, and he'd be sort of overly anxious and trying to impress because he knows he's got to take his chance. He's got, I've only got 20 minutes. I've got to do something special. Harry Kane's going to play next week, and he'd snatch at things and he'd try and make things happen which he wouldn't naturally do. So he's been a bit part player last year, wasn't he? So now he's the main man. It looks like he'll be the main man. We'll get to see the true player, I think. Whether he sinks or swims is up to him now, isn't it?
Yeah. So moving on from that, we'll do a quick little bit on the Barca versus Spurs game for the Dave Allen Dog and Duck Cup.
Who's Dave Allen?
You remember Dave Allen?
I remember Dave Allen.
I remember the comedian. I thought you were about someone from the White Lion or something.
No, he's from the Dog and Duck. Come on, keep up.
Oh yeah.
I have to say, when we conceded very early, I thought it was going to be one of those nights. But the football was really, really exciting, and you could really say, well, I don't know. I don't follow Barcelona. I don't really know which players are in their first team, but a lot of players were saying that was their preferred first 11 playing against us. And yeah, that was our B team, really, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently it's a traditional thing Barcelona do every pre-season. They have one game where it's like a showpiece thing where they bring out the best 11, and they bring a team that they know that they've got a very good chance of beating, and they pack the stadium out, and it's all about like getting bums on seats throughout the rest of the season, and it's a really good tactic from a marketing or financial point of view, whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't really mean anything in terms of the result. So that's what they were aiming for with that. But I think we kind of, when you listen to like the boos when we were coming back and bossing it up to the 78th minute, when we brought the youngsters on and it all fell apart. But the boos and everything were hilarious. It's just like not even started the season, you know what I mean? And the traditional thing of like this showcase thing was just going to fall apart, but it doesn't really matter, does it?
It was actually quite an important event for them, Simon. It was a heritage event because it was 100. It was either 100. I don't know what year it is. Either 100, 125, 150 years since the club was founded. So they've set up this trophy to mark the occasion, and they wanted to win that trophy. Basically, that's why they played their first full strength 11, because in his honour of the bloke that set up the club in the first place, they wanted to win that trophy. Yeah, Dave Allen from the Dog and Duck. Yeah.
No, Dave.
Yeah.
Good old Dave,
yeah.
Always gets his rounding. Good lad.
Yeah.
So, who was your standout from the game there?
Well, Sanchez, got to be in it. Like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like, it's
I have to agree. I agree.
Like, freaking hell. And I've seen some analysis. I can't remember where it was now, but they said that's where he was. The reason he was at his best is because he had that kind of space there at centre left, and he doesn't normally get that, and it's not normally like the way it's just more to do with the way Barcelona play and the fact that he was able to run with the player rather than the Premier League style of, instant decision kind of thing. So there's some talk about it being like a flash in a pan thing, but oh my God, it was brilliant. And Perisic as well. Like Perisic, like
he's been brilliant all pre-season.
Like someone had taken 10 years off him. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but I think with Sanchez, he doesn't play well in a defensive team. if you've got an attacking team where he's going forward and he can run with the ball, and also because they're stepping forward, they're playing the high line, he has the speed to get back when the opposition plays the ball over the top or gets a crossing. Whereas, Dyer obviously doesn't. Davis, he ain't the quickest, is he? And Romero, is he that quick? I don't think he is, really, is he? But Davis is a prime athlete. He could probably run the 100 meters in under 9 seconds. So
we always used to say about Kyle Walker, didn't we? The reason he was so good is because of his speed, because he'd make a mistake, but he was quick enough to get back and then rectify it, wasn't it? Yeah. But if Dave's playing hard at the pitch, like if he does make a mistake, he can get back and rectify it. When he's sitting deep and someone stood him up and they've taken his pace out of the game, he's a bit lead-footed and, snatches at things and stuff. So it probably does suit him, to be honest. But we should also mention the Barcelona game. Bissouma was outstanding, wasn't he? I thought he was brilliant. Bissouma, a glimpse of what could come. If you think he was playing against Barcelona's first team and he completely bossed that midfield, didn't he? Absolutely did. He was great. He was outstanding.
Celso was good as well.
What do we think on him? Is he going to hang about?
It seems so, doesn't it? That young Argentinian lad said he's already spoken to Lo Celso and he said he'd help him settle in. Whether that's for the first couple of weeks or for the first season remains to be seen. But I think Ange seems to like him, doesn't he? The two that kind of turned things around that we expected to leave, probably Lo Celso and Perisic. He was raving about Perisic, wasn't he, in the press conference? Said he can't say enough about how impressed he's been about his attitude and training and games and taking on board new instructions and doing, just being a great leader around the place.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it's good signs, isn't it? I mean, this is the ideal, perfect scenario pre-season, isn't it? We looking at players that we thought were dead and buried, we're going to have to sell at a loss, have turned themselves around. Maybe it's probably too early to be saying this, but turn themselves around and are playing out of their skin. They're playing the way, for the reason that we bought them for. Because I watched a lot of Sanchez before we bought him, and I was like, that's what we need, that kind of coming back and recovering, winning clean tackles, on the counter attack and stuff like that. And he never did it until now. Well, it actually did, like when he first started, but
he was decent with Vertonghen or Alderweireld.
Yeah,
because he needs a steady head.
And Perisic as well just looks unbeatable down on that left. It seems to all look like Bugs Bunny, all over the place, here, there, everywhere, taking corners, swinging it
Roadrunner,
and running back and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's amazing. This is the ideal scenario. This is exactly what you want from a previously failing team, isn't it? Brilliant.
Credit has to go to the players, and then you look at how they've reacted to compare to how Ndombele's another manager doesn't fancy him. How many's that now? The Roma manager didn't want to keep him. Only put him on last 20 minutes. They couldn't get rid of him soon enough. He's come back in with a fresh slate here, and he didn't even make the bench in any of the pre-season games, did he?
Yeah, apparently injured. Or stuck in McDonald's. I'm not sure which one. But,
it's otherwise known as a Lloris injury.
Surely he's got to look in the mirror one day and go, look, everyone else can't be wrong.
I don't think he will.
Me and you would, John. Me and you. But when you got paying that much money, being paid that much money, that kind of blinds you. Gets a bit foggy.
I think he thinks the whole world's against him, and that's why he just mopes around like Kevin the teenager. And
there's an up-to-date reference for you kids.
I just don't think
so unfair.
Yes,
I hate you.
Maybe he'll grow up one day. How old is he now? 24?
Older than that.
Is he?
I've already dismissed him in my mind.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I'll have a look on the information device.
So he could do well in Serie B, I think, in Italy.
No, I think I'm surprised that he didn't do more in Italy, because it is a slower league, isn't it?
I've just got to show you something. I was typing Ndombele into my phone and look what came up. I don't know if you can see that.
McDonald's.
Unbelievable.
Oh, mate, I'm going to clip that one. Forget it all over
Tango and Ndombele sponsored by McDonald's. He's 26. His birthday's the 28th of December. So,
well, do you know what? Actually,
so.
Seriously, if he works really hard in a couple of years, he could have the regional manager at McDonald's around that area. Only if he works
5 stars, man. 5
the
stars.
The assistant to the assistant manager.
If he buckles down and works hard.
Next week I'll be on salad. Yeah. Do you think he will grow up, or do you think all I've heard reports from when he was younger is that he has so much ability and he doesn't do anything with it. He doesn't have the right mental fortitude.
It depends how you're brought up in the workplace, isn't it? No matter what job you do, and what jobs you've had. If you're lucky enough to work for real professional companies right from early on, and you have that kind of work ethic ingrained into you, or your parents ingrained it into you, it's that kind of thing. You've got it for life. Or the opposite is true. If it's like, if you're like, oh, you're the greatest, and everybody should bend around you, and all this kind of stuff, you can have that for the rest of your life. And if he was like 17, 18, 19, then you could get that out of him. But not now.
There's a famous story about Cristiano Ronaldo, what he said when he was young and they had no money and they were poor and his mum couldn't really afford to feed him, that they used to hang around outside the McDonald's, and there was a lady that used to come and give him the old McDonald's food and stuff, to the street urchins and the kids and stuff. And he went back years later to find out who she was, and he bought her a house or something, didn't she? Because that's for the generosity. But Ndombele obviously used to get given McDonald's when he was little, and he thought, I'm going to repay you, McDonald's, by eating every fucking McDonald's ever. Every time I see a McDonald's, I'm going to pull in and eat one.
When I'm regional manager,
I'll be able to eat as many McDonald's as I want.
Le Big Mac.
Le Big Mac.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay, then. Let's talk about the recent incomings. Van der Ven and Velis. It seems to me that both of these players are a little bit more for the future. I think people are going massively overboard about Van der Ven. Oh, I put Van der Van. Sorry, should be Van der Ven. He is still a youngster. He's got great speed. I'm not sure that he's ready. Do we think that he'll play today?
No, I don't think. I think you're bang on. I think if he was going to play today, he would have played against Barcelona. It would have been the ones coming on instead of Scarlett or something. I think you're absolutely bang on. I think it's. I hope anyway that Ange is thinking, right, I've got a whole shed load of players I want to get rid of here, Dyer, and I want to ship them out. So I need players, to bolster up that squad. I think that's what he's thinking. He's thinking for the future. He's thinking by the time I get rid of Dyer and Sessegnon, it's going to be, knowing my chairman, it's going to be, 2026. So let's get some players in that back that up.
Yeah.
As our resident Dutch football expert, have you got any inside information on him?
He actually started out in the Ajax youth team.
Yeah.
But I think he either got injured or he was released, and then he went to Volendam, who are, how could you say, they're a bit like the Dutch Wimbledon, as in not the football playing, but the story. They came from very low down and then got up into the first division. I read an interview with one of the coaches at Volendam who said this guy has everything. He has speed. He is good on the ball. He can tackle. He's got everything for a defender. And it wouldn't surprise me to go on to be one of the best defenders in the world. Now, obviously, this guy trained him and he went off to Wolfsburg, so he thinks he's he's bigging up his own achievements. but I think people are excited about him.
He's tall as well, Jens. You didn't mention that. He's like 6'3", isn't he? 6'3",
Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you come to the Netherlands, mate. You don't see many small people unless they're not Dutch.
So straight replacement for Dyer then, yeah?
Sorry?
Straight replacement for Dyer?
Yeah, I'd say so. We've actually been linked with another ex-Ajax player who also played for the team that I follow in the Netherlands, which it's a long story, but they're called Fortuna Sittard. And again, they're not a particularly big team. They're way down south.
Wasn't he in Star Wars?
Sorry?
Wasn't he in Star Wars? I was Bib Fortuna. Fortuna.
Use the force, yeah. But he was at Ajax. He went from Fortuna to Ajax, and then he was going to take over from De Ligt, but he got injured, and then Timber and I can't remember the other guy got in front of him. So he went to he's moved to Torino, and last season he played really well. And I've seen him play a few times. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm an expert on him, but he's quite similar to Dyer, apart from he's a bit faster and he doesn't make as many mistakes. He doesn't switch off like I think Dyer does.
That's what we want.
So, yeah, there's definitely some interest there from us, or from what I've read on. Yeah, because you never know, do you, in the press?
It was a good sign that that Dyer wasn't mentioned in any of those leadership groups or made vice captain again. Well, that was a good sign.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to actually mention.
Outgoings.
Fucking mouse. Sorry, my mouse is not working properly. My camera's not working properly. I apologise. Dyer and Insta. Did you hear about that?
No.
Apparently, he's deleted Tottenham from Instagram and all of his social things. Now, I'm now hearing that it's someone who was just a fan channel, but that all seems quite convenient. But he doesn't strike me as the type of bloke to chuck his toys out of the pram. What do you think?
It could be many reasons. I didn't really read much into it. I think the most common reason is like a lot of people, when they get too much abuse on social media, they just delete their social media. Simple as that.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think it's a case of safeguarding his mental health, which is fair enough. But I don't agree. Like a lot of people saying, like the other way of it's like, oh, stop giving him negativity and shouldn't be so negative about him. Yes, we should. We're allowed to criticize. We're fans. There's a difference between that and getting abusive, obviously, which is bang out of order.
But fuck you. Sorry.
Yeah. But if you're shit, we're going to call you out on it because we're fans. You know what I mean? Like not as like a one-off game or anything. We're talking season after season. He's been shit, and he's at fault for a lot of mistakes, which have been key mistakes.
Yeah. And
the problem is he's not in midfield; he's in defence. So when he ball watches and just jogs, dad runs back to the penalty area, with the player that he's supposed to have been marking, people, they score. It's as simple as that. I don't know. We can call it out. I'm sick of people doing things like it's like what I call the FIFA way of doing things. Like FIFA brought in all these fucking rules now that you can't even say anything to the referee now. I've been watching, obviously, the Women's World Cup, and they've got this thing where, even if you say, oh, come on, ref, like they come over and like you're like that close away from a booking and all this kind of stuff. Absolute bullshit. They're not accountable to anybody. Anyway, refs is another thing, but
that's already got down to grassroots, Simon. Yesterday, someone said something to the referee and he sent him off. And he said, the new directions, you're not allowed to talk to the referees like that anymore. He sent him off. He did say, "Oh, fuck off, ref," or something like that. He sent him straight off. He's like, and we were like, "Oh, it's a friendly." And he goes, "Nah, we've had new directions from FIFA or UEFA. We're not taking it anymore. You're out. You can't speak to us like that. We need to crack down on it." So it's gone all the way down to grassroots. What they're doing in the Women's World Cup already.
Which is fine if you're held accountable for what because you're shit at your job, then that would be fine. But they're not, and that's what pisses me off. Anyway, like it's I'm all. I have no idea about Instagram or Twitter or X as it's now called or any of that stuff because I've only got Facebook, so I have no idea of the kind of abuse that he's been getting, and I'm sure if it is abuse, and he don't blame him at all for getting rid of his social media. But also, I don't think he should be beyond criticism. I don't think we should be forbidden for criticising players on social media either. And at the same time, people reading into it that he's leaving Tottenham and that's why he's unfollowed all the Spurs pages and all that.
I think he is, Simon, because the fact that he's not on this leadership group, that's the thing that nods the hat there. I think the fact that he's not on this leadership group because he's a big leader around the place, isn't he? I think he's off. He must be. Maybe he's got a move lined up.
I really, 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 really hope so. But I don't, again, it's like paper tabloid rumours of transfers. You can't take much notice of it at that stage when it's that kind of level of information. Plus, he's not a young lad or an Ndombele. You know what I mean? He's very experienced and I don't think, like you said, Jens, I don't think he'd throw his toys out of the pram.
Yeah.
He did go into the crowd and try and punch someone. He slagged him off on the pitch before. We should remember that. So he has got a bit of a turning point in him.
That and the goal against West Ham, that's my favourite part of Eric Dyer being at Tottenham. And it's 10 years?
Not that header last year when he headed the ball straight to the opposition when he tried doing that back header, remember? Was that Liverpool game or Man United?
It was Liverpool, wasn't it?
We were doing quite well, and he just gave them a goal, didn't he?
I was watching a video of the amount of defensive mistakes that we made last season, and I'd say he was involved in at least 50% of them.
And almost every photograph, when sports photographers take those action shots of strikers just as they hit the ball, everyone against us. You can see Dyer just behind that player because he's jogging back and he's doing his fucking dad run because he's supposed to be marking him or whatever.
Did you see that goal against Barcelona in the week? Like when Reguilon just got completely rinsed, didn't he? Like and literally as soon as the goal went in, all six players just went fucking having a go at him. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, basically, it all went for him like pack of animals.
Reggie's been terrible this pre-season.
Yeah, don't want to be there, does he?
We have to get rid. We really have to get rid. I don't know. Who have we got a left back? Udogie, Davis.
Udogie and Davis will do, won't it? Sessegnon's coming back. Yeah. Reguilon can go, can't he? Really? Let's face it.
Yeah, I think Sessegnon and Reguilon can go.
I've been really impressed with Udogie. I think he's brilliant.
Yes.
So far, yeah, he's got all the materials there. Only to be our new Danny Rose. But he's better going forward than Danny Rose, I think, as well.
He's better on Google as well.
Is he? He's probably better on Scrabble as well. Udogie's going to win more points than Rose, isn't it?
What about Rodon? Is he still around?
He's gone to Leeds.
He's gone to Leeds, but only on loan.
Yeah, I'll get this. He made his debut yesterday and they put him up front for the last 10 minutes. They were chasing the game. So he made his debut for Leeds up front.
It's Gary Doherty.
big Joey Roden, up you go, son. That's where we're missing the trick, Simon. We should have stuck Roden up there to knock it down for Richarlison.
He went, well, all this time.
Can't do it now.
Oh, bloody hell. I can't believe that Levy didn't see that. He's going to be
I can't understand why it was only a loan deal, though. It seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Because everyone keeps saying he's not on a lot of wages, is he? So it's not like he's protecting it. No, he was on like 16 grand a week or something compared to all the others are on 100 grand a week. So it was something ridiculous like that, 20 or 30 grand. Ridiculous.
Right.
Not to us, obviously, but not to us, but compared to everyone else.
Should we have a whip round for him?
But it just makes it's a bit weird, isn't it? Why would it be a loan deal if he's not going to be protecting his wages at the club, is he? So it seems a bit odd.
There was talk that we were going to be releasing some of these players. I mean, like we did with Arry and Doherty. And if Roden is not on big wages, how many years has he got left on his contract?
I don't know. When did he sign? There's a website in there that tells you, but I don't know what it is.
Okay.
It's got all of the players' contracts on that.
So
that's it. That's it, isn't it? For outgoings, we've only had really
Winks and Rodon.
Winks and Rodon, yeah. Apart from Undertaker's brother.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so let's talk about today. Talk about the actual football. I'm going to put up my predicted lineup. What do you reckon, guys?
Let's have a look.
Vicario, Dogi, Davis, Romero, Emerson, Bissouma, Skip, Kulu, Madison, Son, and Richie.
Mm.
You don't think Sanchez?
Nah.
No, I don't think. I don't think they will. Let's have a look.
Skip or Lo Celso is the only one out of that, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
I
forgot about.
You're not far off there. I don't know. He might like. It's a London derby, isn't it? First game of the season. We might want to be a bit more dogged. So Skip might be the way to go. I think you might be right, Jens. And then he's got Lo Celso off the bench, isn't he?
Yeah.
I reckon you're right. I reckon you're right, mate. I'd go with that.
Rodon was signed in 2020 on a 5-year deal. So he's still got a couple of years to go.
So maybe Leeds wouldn't offer him a longer term deal than he was on at Tottenham. That might explain one possible reason for the loan.
Yeah.
Not Perisic in there. I think Perisic.
I think he seems to like Perisic, doesn't he? But that would be dependent on Son playing up front, wouldn't it? So Perisic on the left, Son up front. But it's a bit of a kick in the teeth for Richie, isn't it? If you're a backup striker and then the main striker's gone, he's still not getting a game under the new manager. That would be the end for him, pretty much, wouldn't it? It would show that Ange doesn't fancy him, and then there's no way back from there, is there, really?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Bissouma, I would replace Bissouma with Perisic there and change the formation for that a bit.
You take Bissouma out, really? He's been absolutely brilliant this preseason.
Bissouma's been outstanding.
But I was watching him a lot, and it's all good. But I think I expect, obviously, players, especially players that haven't been like the skip effect, shall we call it for now, where they haven't been featured that much, or they've had an off season to go over and above to try and impress in pre-season. So it's not that I'm ignoring Bissouma completely and what he's done so far, but there is that effect to take in. Plus, I think he's going to be more of a sub role. I was looking at him and watching him, and like he seems to kind of lag in periods of the game, like energy wise or movement wise. So I think he'll come on as a sub, I think.
So who are you going to play in the middle then?
Well, that's what I mean. So we'd have to change the whole formation around there. I think Perisic, like last season, I mean, obviously he's always been all right with last season, but I think it'll be the same this season, where he's good for 60, 70 minutes. And then obviously, because he's one of the more senior players, he comes off.
We still need two central midfielders, I think, and Perisic can't play in the middle.
No, so Lo Celso in the middle now.
Okay, right.
So I think Perisic and Lo Celso would be good, because Lo Celso, he's good at holding the ball up. I know he's needs to bulk out a bit physically, but he's good at holding the ball up. And that what's the word I'm thinking of? Layover with Perisic and Lo Celso could be good down that left-hand side there. They could control almost that whole strip going up right to the byline. Because the difference is with Perisic, he goes right to the byline to cross it in, doesn't he? He doesn't do what everybody else seems to do, which is try and cross it early before the byline. So he's got that advantage there. And I think Lo Celso's got the hold-up power and the through ball to get Perisic, so they can play off each other from right deep. So Perisic could be in his own half, play it to Lo Celso and bomb it down there, and Lo Celso will be able to find him down there. So that means that Son doesn't have to play on the left, and he can be overlay. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
was that Speedy Gonzalez? Overlay.
Underlay. Carpet, man. Underlay.
Underlay. Overlay.
But then having said that, like I said, Perisic is good for about 60, 70 minutes last season. I think that'll stay the same. So I'm not sure who bring on.
I think it also him playing as wing back didn't really work, did it? Because
no, it didn't.
He's okay. Maybe he could have done that back in when he was a little bit younger, but now I think he doesn't need defensive duties as well as attacking duties.
No,
so
and Ben Davies is good for that.
Sorry,
Ben Davies is good for that as well. Up to the halfway line, Ben Davies is good for that. He's got a good.
Who are you, Jack Santini?
Perisic was always a winger converted to a wing back, so he can go back to becoming a winger. For me.
Yeah, that was like Moses, wasn't it? Isn't that what? What's his name? Conte did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To coin Big Ange, Simon, I ain't changing my formation, mate.
Nobody, you drongo.
Yeah, I ain't changing my formation. 4-3-3.
You flaming galah. What was that, Skip?
Flaming galah. Skip.
Kane's fallen into the well with Bayern Munich. Oh, dear.
Rack off, you drone guy.
God.
Alf Stewart, rest in peace. What a legend.
Is he dead?
I think so, yeah.
Oh no,
I'll have to check that actually.
Imagine if he's not dead.
I think he's probably still in it. I bet he is. It's still going, isn't it?
Imagine if he dies today. Bloody hell.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh no, I've had a bit of a issue with that recently.
Oh no, he's still alive. 79 years.
Was it something Meager was his name? Was it Ray Meager? Was it Ray Meager?
Yeah.
Yeah. How old is he?
79.
Come on, Spurs. You can do this for Ray Meager, Alf Stewart.
And I think he's married
to Elsa.
Please tell me your name's Elsa.
No, it's not.
Is it Sheila?
Is this in real life?
There was Elsa. Oh, what a bird. Anyway,
is this real life or in the show?
No, it doesn't even say if he's married. Anyway, yeah, this is starting to lag. What is it? Daily Mail. The amount of adverts. It's like watching Football London.
Oh, that is terrible. That website. How do they ever get anyone to read any of their articles? It just crashes all the time, doesn't it? People tell Alistair Gold this all the time, but he's like, I know. I keep telling them, and they don't do anything about it. So the amount of views that he's losing out on because people just can't be bothered to look at their stuff anymore. Yeah. So it crashes all the time. Unbelievable, isn't it?
So, guys, actually, while we're talking about Alistair Gold, he was on Spurs Community years ago. Now, I know I keep going on about this, but I've been on there since 2004, I think.
Yeah.
And he used to write articles on there. And he actually wrote a book called An Ode to Joel. So it was about Martin Yole's first season at the club. And I bought it. And I tell you, if you ever find a copy of that, it is a hilarious read. Yeah, it's really... He's a very creative writer, but obviously also has the football stuff in there as well. So yeah, if you do see that, Ode to Joel, big up Ali. I was there when you started, bruv. Don't forget me.
Yeah, representing. That's it. You Big Al, and who else did you meet on Spurs Community? Rez, wasn't it?
Rez,
Big Al and Rez. Yeah, Rez. You met him on Spurs Community. Yeah.
Everybody was so surprised when someone posted up on there missing members. Has anybody seen his username? And I said, yeah he's on there. He's doing YouTube now. And you remember how he used to be so pro-Levy? He really wants him out now. And you should have seen the amount of laughing emojis I got from that. He's changes his mind like he changes his underpants, I swear. Anyway.
Careful. Right. It'll spark us out.
Oh, shit, yeah. It's all right. I've been sparring recently, so I'm ready for it. And I've also got some shin pads for if he tries to run me over. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Predictions for today, then. What do you reckon?
3-1, I think.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in that first game, can't it? Who's getting the goals, Simon, in your 3-1?
I think Son 2. I think Porro, the other one.
Yeah. Where's Porro going to play? Right back or right wing?
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to drop Kulusevski, is he? But I don't think he's going to want to play Porro as a right back.
No, but I think it will have that halfway line, and then which will make Kulu do what Perisic is doing, but on the right hand side. So Kulu coming in right by the byline and doing it. I think them two pairing up on the right there should be deadly.
Yeah, I think that leaves us a bit open, to be honest.
Yeah, but Porro is pretty quick, isn't he? I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I don't think he has the. He's quick, but I don't think he has the defensive mentality that Kyle Walker had. As in,
no, but Royale has the anticipation sense that Walker had. So I think if they're going to counter attack, I think Royale will be good enough to.
Okay, so you think that they're going to drop Kulu then, or Porro instead of Kulu?
Yeah, because I don't know. It's hard to tell, isn't it? Like,
no, it's
yeah.
No, yeah. Well, you never know who he's going to play, do you? So, what do you reckon?
Big Andy's all about the process and instilling into the players the way we're going to be playing the game and on the front foot and attacking and pressing high and stuff. I got looking at your team now. I was thinking it might to send a message out to the squad. I don't know if he might put Lo Celso in instead of Skip to show that we're all about what we're going to do to the opponents rather than worrying about them going the other way. I mean,
yeah,
that would be the only. So it could go either way, that one. So he might want to go in a bit more, solid as it's the first game and London derby, but he might also want to think, right, sending a message out to the fans and the club and the players that we're not going to worry about what's going that way. We're going that way. So Lo Celso, the more attacking option, might get the nod. You never know. But it's an away game. It's a London derby. Are we going to concede? Probably with Davis in there. Who have Brentford got up front now that Tony's injured? Yeah, he wasn't that good, was he? Famous last words. Touch wood. He wasn't that.
He scored a couple of times against.
He did, yeah, he did, didn't he? He was crap in that game as well, wasn't he? And he scored 2 worldies against that enough, and it's like fucking out. Donkey's knocked a couple of corkers in.
Yeah.
3-2 Tottenham. Son, Richarlison, and Maddison. There we go. I was tempted to say Skip. I think Skippy's got to go on him. But Maddison, we'll go Maddison. Son, Richarlison, and Maddison.
Okay.
3-2. Jens, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking a draw. 1-1. Maddison with the goal, probably a free kick. I think that they have a very shrewd manager, Brentford do, and I think that he will have definitely studied an awful lot how Ange plays and will put in a counter, a team to counter that. So, yeah, I'd like to think it's going to be like Aussie Ardiles football. But I'm not sure. I mean, they definitely bought into it in pre-season, but this is when the big decisions are made. So
we need an early goal, don't we, to then throw Brentford's game plan out the window, change it all. That changes everything if we get an early goal.
So it says here, the last time Tottenham began a pre-Premier League campaign with a London derby was in 2014-15. They won 1-0 at West Ham. Who scored?
Eric Dyer.
Yeah.
Mauricio Pochettino's first game in charge.
Yeah.
Brentford have won just 2 of their 10 league meetings with Tottenham in their history. Drawn 4, lost 4. Though one of those was a 3-1 victory in their most recent match in May. Yeah. So,
have they got anybody new that we need to worry about?
That is a good question. let me have a quick butchers on here.
Don't remember any headline stuff or anything. So.
Sorry, I haven't done my research. I do apologise.
Haven't we got a keeper in as well, a young keeper in? Shall we sign this week?
Did we?
Did we? I'm not sure.
Let's have a look. Brentford incomings, transfer market.
I can't see anyone, but then again, this might not have updated. It's not the best app. It's good for scores and stuff like that, but for
what have we got here? Incomings. Is the Brentford
well,
rivals?
There isn't anyone for us to worry about.
Nathan Collins from Wolves, the centre back.
Right winger.
Sharda,
a right winger from FC Freiburg.
Yeah, Freiburg. Yeah,
they got a goalkeeper from Freiburg as well.
Yeah, Flecker.
Centre midfielder, attacking midfielder, right winger, centre back, centre mid, goalkeeper, right winger, centre mid. No striker. Must be happy with that guy they got up top.
Yeah, in Buemo.
Another goalie, another loan as well.
Yeah.
They brought a Dane in. Look, Mads Bidstrup.
No, he's been there for years.
Has he?
He was in the youth team, I think. What's his name? Thomas Frank has a link with Midtjylland, which is my cousin's team, who were the best team in Denmark a couple of years ago. Now FC Copenhagen have overtaken again. And he brought a number of youth team players from there with him to Brentford. Yeah. And there's what's his name, Bidstrup Rorslev as well, who's I think a right or left back. Norgard and Jensen, I think they were Midtjylland as well. But then obviously he's brought in Damsgaard and he's been absolutely shite.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame.
Whilst we're on the subject of Danish players, that decent during the middle of last season, I happened to be watching the Italian football one game, and I sent Jens a text. I said, "Well, who's this guy, Danish guy up front for Atalanta? He's rapid, skillful, really good, and it's the guy that Man United have bought." Yeah, how's that gone down in Denmark? Are they buzzing about him going to Man United?
Very happy. I'd say in Denmark, you've got probably two main teams. It's Man United and Liverpool, who everyone supports.
Mulby effect.
Yeah, Mulby and what's his name, Pidge Schmeichel. So there was a few Tottenham fans when I was over there. We were fucking shit at the time, but anyway. And obviously you get a few Arsenal and whatever. But no, it's
John Jensen effect.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
It seems very positive. And I think he's I haven't seen him play for Atalanta, but I've seen him play for the national team. And he is
I don't think he's a striker. He's probably more of a number 10 kind of.
Bit of a poacher as well. Yeah, he's in there when you need him, but also he can shoot from distance as well. And I hope that he does well at Man United, but I just have a feeling he's another young player who's going to be swallowed up by that team. I would have preferred
next week, so let's hope he doesn't do too well.
He's got all of the base elements to be a good Premiership footballer. Only pace, skill, finishing.
Yeah. I would have preferred him to stay at Atalanta for another season or two.
Or 2 weeks at least.
Just, because he's learning his trade there, and it's not as fast as the Premiership. I have a feeling he's not the biggest guy. He's quite strong, but I have a feeling he's going to get kicked up in the air a lot.
Just make sure he's got plenty of skur and he'll be all right. We used to have a Danish player play for us, and he used to. We used to say to him, "I don't know where you got your energy from. What do you eat?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing. I just eat the same as you guys." And we worked out the only thing differently he was doing to us is he used to have this skur every morning. Is it SKYR? It's like protein pots, isn't it? Like yogurt, but protein yogurt that you got from
right.
Skur.
Yeah. No, I think that's Uma, isn't it? But no, if it's a yogurt thing, as we used
protein
to have that
thing, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Uma and Brus, which was yogurt and, funnily enough, rye bread dried out with sugar, and you sprinkle it on top. Really, really nice.
Did it give you energy like a Duracell bunny?
No, it just gave me a massive belly. Oh no, that was a beer. Sorry.
That was the kebab van in the White Lion car park, wasn't it?
Frank Kebab. Yeah.
Frank's Kebabs, yeah.
Yeah. You know, he won the lottery, didn't you? And then got arrested for being a paedophile.
What a comeback story. Well, how's your luck? I won the lottery. You're a paedophile. Come with me, son. You're handcuffed.
It was something like £500,000.
Yeah.
But he was giving free kebabs to the 15-year-old girls from the White Line Flats for favours. Oh, Frank, you dick.
Frank, you could have had it all. You could have had it all. That blown it all away on the White Lion youngsters.
You want chili?
Funnily enough, when me and Big Gay Al got chased by that Chelsea Ultra that time, the headhunter, that was up Frank Kebabs. He used to be up top Amersham, didn't he?
Yeah.
We got me and Big Gay Al were up there getting after the boot and slipper or something, and this bloke goes, I think Tottenham been playing because we had our Tottenham tops on. He goes, he literally said to us, "I'm a Chelsea headhunter." We're like, "All right, nice one, mate." He was carrying on eating our kebabs. He goes, "Do you know who we are?" I was like, "Not really, no." Carrying on eating. You bloody should do. And he's like, "No, well, we don't." So because we didn't have any indication of who he was, and we were walking down the road, we suddenly looked around. He had like a bat in his hand. He was like running after us, and we thought it's funny at first. So we just started laughing and running. And looked around. It was still coming for us. So we had to fucking drop our kebabs and sprint. And we got down to the allotments down Woodside Road, and we kind of we got a bit of ahead of him, and we kind of hid in there, and we saw him going past his bat, like looking for us, kind of thing. Chelsea headhunters. It was hilarious. Like, do you know who I am? No. Should we? No, I'm a Chelsea headhunter. Should I? Like, couldn't give a crap. We just carried on eating our food.
He was probably mates with, what were those two brothers called? They were Chelsea boys, weren't they?
Oh, Mark and Paul Kirby, yeah.
Yeah, Kirby.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Last but, well, maybe not last. Levy in his pot of gold. Do you think, I'm hearing an awful lot of stories about the Kane money's already spent on Richarlison. Do you think that is true? That he was planning, if Kane wasn't going to sign a new contract, that he bought Richarlison in early and then the Kane money has gone on that? Do you think that's true?
Ali Gold said that they still haven't called off that other 50 million from that share issue thing that they did. So they've still got 50 million that they can take any time there. So he has got money to spend. He'll probably say that he hasn't. And
yeah, we tried.
Yeah, we tried.
Well, he's got to be careful in it because it can all be made public sooner or later, come April. So
I don't think he cares. I really don't think he cares.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the smart thing would be to, because there's obviously nobody out there not going to be doing like replacements for Kane, but striker wise, it'd be too late anyway to get anybody in. So he's best off holding on to it for the next window, and then seeing who's available then.
The thing that makes me wonder is when we got the bail money in, that they were very clever about it, and they kind of got all the deals sorted before they confirmed the bail transfer, and then the jigsaw kind of happened after that. They got all the deals done in place. So I thought when the Kane deal was confirmed that they'd have all their deals in place ready to just drop now, but not yet.
That's the ideal thing, isn't it? But these days it's like it's not that much different to the bail days, I suppose. But these days it's so dependent on a lot of different factors going right before that, isn't it? And like loads of different things going right.
If you notice also, Ange saying, "Oh yeah, we don't necessarily need another striker. We've got Richarlison, we've got Son." That kind of shuts up people thinking we're desperate to, up the price 20 million, doesn't it? So it shows we're quite prepared to play the season with Richarlison and Son, so you can't rip us off too much because we'll just go elsewhere, kind of thing. So I think that was very deliberate when he said that yesterday. We're not desperate. We've got people that can play there. If deals happen,
he's got a different mindset, Ange, and it's brilliant to watch. I think I said before, the more he talks, the more I'm falling in love with him. Really, to make sure the missus is not listening.
Yes.
She's just shouted out, "I am." I tell you, wait till she finds out I'm leaving her for him. I tell you.
She's probably barricading the front door after your Middlesbrough
does he
comment.
know
Or
this?
the Middlesbrough people trying to get in.
But he talks when he says stuff. It's the difference between him and, let's say, Mourinho, whatever. When he talks and says stuff like, "Yeah, we've got a plan for doing this season without Kane," it says it like it's a matter of fact thing. It's like, yeah, of course we have. Yeah, it's not like a theatrical, defensive, aggressive thing, is it? He talks like, you know, we've got him, mate. Don't worry about it. Next question. You know.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's that laid back Australian attitude, really, isn't it? No worries, mate. Yeah, well, I'll be interested to see how that actually how that works in the Premiership. But I have to say, I am excited.
Me too.
With the football that he's been playing in pre-season. It reminds me of the old days.
It's like you said back when we first started today. You know, we all kind of dreaded it when we went 1-0 down and we thought, here we go again. But it was like all the, I suppose, how much time he's had, the limited time he's had with them so far, suddenly kind of kicked in already. You know, it's almost a switch went off, and it's like, and we came back and we started playing this amazing football, and you know, scored again, and it's like.
It's a sign of a good manager, isn't it? They can impose his ideas on a squad in such a short period of time, and to get us playing that distinctively different style of football in such a short period of time. It's a good sign that the players are buying into his ideas and what he wants to do.
And if you think about it, is perfect for him to come in, because most of those players in there, or at least half of them, have been such a long time desperate for some kind of success or a better way of playing football for such a long time. They'd have been like sponges, wouldn't they? Just like, oh my God, yeah, just we're loving this.
And the culture of the club as well, with your Dyers and people like who've outseen 3 or 4 managers now, they'll be like, oh, you won't be here long. I'm not going to bother running for you. You're not going to be here long. But hopefully they'll go, right, you're out. And then these are all Angie's players, and then Angie's got the respect of all the players, and they're his kind of mould, rather than old people from the old regimes thinking, well, you're not going to be here longer than me, I'm going to outsee you, I'll just sit on my arse. Eric Dyer.
The exception to that would be, I'd say, Ben Davies, because I think
definitely, I was going to say that.
But I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, and that's human nature, isn't it, John? Like, you know, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, then, guys.
It's not long till. What we should talk about Hugo Lloris, I think. What the hell is going on with Hugo Lloris?
Lazio, I've heard.
My brother's got a theory on that one. He thinks that the reason Levy's kept him around is because of the Kane business. That if we'd have sold Lloris, then they'd have had to make a decision straight away on the new captain, and they knew Kane was leaving, and they didn't want to announce that Kane was leaving because all the piranhas had come round, like prices would go up for all the players we're trying to buy and stuff like that. So he thinks he kept Lloris around until Kane had been confirmed to gone, so they didn't have to deal with the issue of the captaincy. I tend to, I can really see that, to be honest. I can really see it.
The slightest. With this guy, it would not surprise me at all. He just,
Because what it is if Lloris would have left, they'd have had to make a statement on who the new club captain would be, wouldn't they, straight away? And they couldn't do that because they knew Kane was leaving. Because then questions would get asked, why has Kane not been announced as the new captain? Lloris is gone. And then it would tip the wink early that Kane was off, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And all the people we're trying to buy, the prices would be 20 million added on, like you said earlier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that's still going to happen. Apparently, this Gift Urban guy is 27 million. We've offered 27 million plus add-ons, and Genk, I can't remember which team it is, have asked for 30. He's still very raw, but I think he scored 22 goals in 33 matches last season. Yeah, okay, it's the Belgian league.
Is he the guy that's like 30, 31? Or is he a youngster?
No, he's. I think he's 19, 20.
Right. Okay.
And he's. Who was he playing? They were playing midweek in the Europa League, I think.
Yeah.
Qualifications, and he scored 2 and set up 1. Let me have a look, see if I can see who that was against.
The Argentinian guy's a similar age, though. So surely, if we're bringing in one guy to come in straight away and feature in the first team, why would the Argentinian not be expected to come in and feature straight away? Unless they just try to take the pressure off him a bit by saying, "No, we'll integrate you this season."
Yeah. So he plays against, playing against Pogan Schneider. I've never heard of it. From Poland, and he got a hat trick.
Hat trick.
Yeah, 2 assists, 1 assist. Sorry. So yeah, he's so Butchers.
I imagine he's quick and mobile. If it's probably likes quick players, isn't he, up front?
Nigerian, started out in Norway and then moved to Ghent. Oh yeah, sorry. No, he's played 25 matches for Ghent, scored 25 goals.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Sounds a bit like Roy of the Rovers.
Yeah. I think
United.
at Celtic, watching from what Ian said when he was on the show, he liked an energetic, quick striker up front than Ange. So I think Richarlison could probably do that, and this new guy sounds like he's got all the attributes to do it as well.
Yeah.
Son can obviously do it as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of any other business, Jens, what's the latest? Did you end up getting your money back from Spurs?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Hey.
Well reminded.
It took a while, but I kept. I emailed them a couple of times. First time, obviously, they didn't reply. Second time, you have to wait and see when the windows will open up, because they do bank transfers on a set date, and then it takes 2 weeks. But yeah, I got it back. So I shall be spending that in the pub in Morton Hampstead next week when we go on holiday back to see my parents. And
didn't they write you under your daughter's name as well, didn't they, or something? That was the last thing we heard.
No, that's the thing. They keep sending me emails. I mean, obviously, my email address is on there because my daughter's 7 years old.
Yeah.
And they were saying, "Oh yeah, do you want to have a season ticket, Olivia? And do you want this? And do you want that? Do you want to go on the Skywalk?" Like, she's 7 years old, bro. Fuck yeah.
You've just reminded me I haven't cashed my money out yet from last season. I'm still sitting there in Levy's account.
Did Gaza take his season ticket, or was he giving?
Yeah. Him and
Showbiz.
Showbiz is done his, and Dace.
Okay.
And Needham. So Needham and Gaza have got 2 next to each other.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
They offered him to me and my brother actually for the Man United game, but I said, "Nah, fuck him."
Yeah.
Levy's pissed me off at the time, so I was like, "Oh, fuck him, I'm not going. Fuck him."
Yeah. Well, yeah, I might be interested in taking a ticket at some point, but probably not big games. But yeah, I'll be in contact with them. So,
whilst we're on any other business, can we do? I need help with deciding. We can do a vote on this, right? Because my amazing wife, for our anniversary recently, she knows when I set up my own room for my own.
Happy anniversary, by the way. 1 year, wasn't it? Nice one.
First year. So she knows I want to set up my own YouTube channel, Simon Says channel, and so she's.
And you'll be the enemy, Simon. We can no longer be friends.
Then and so she basically put together a few touches for the room. It's probably not going to be in here because we're looking at buying a house and stuff. But she's amazing. She went and did some decorations. So stuff like this to put on the wall.
So you've got to get rid of that, mate. Those 2, they can fuck right off.
Well, that's why I said. Right, so I've got a selection here. So it's either keep or ditch. So that one to go, nice. Yeah.
No, I think I actually like that.
Keep it.
I think keep it.
None of them are.
They're not here anymore, but they did an awful lot for the cause. So
Yeah, it's indicative of a good period for the club.
Yes.
Okay. That one.
Yeah.
That one. Classic. I'm thinking
keep. Yeah, the monkey god. It's the monkey god. It's the monkey god.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
He was from a certain part of the British Isles, wasn't he? I can't remember.
All right, there, boy.
You pay.
And yeah, that was it. Right. So the other one is.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Yeah, go on. We can wander this all the way, bro.
Yeah. Use
The other ones are Wickham ones. So.
Let's have a look at that one. What's that one? Let me tell you what it is. Let's have a look. Who have you got on there?
Is that Roy Essendale?
Joe Jacobson there, I can see on the left there. Yeah. Is that Akinfen one right there? The big legs running into the scene.
No.
25. No.
No, that's a white bloke, mate. There's no way.
A skinny white bloke.
Well, you gotta get. Yeah, you need to get some glasses, babe.
I do.
Oh, dear. Okay, the chaps. When are you going to set that up then, Simon?
Well, we're waiting on buying a new house. It's going to be with a room in.
Yeah,
we've got a spare room in here, but it's kind of like storage cupboard at the minute.
Right.
So if this thing takes any longer, I'll have to set it up in here. So
it's only 20 minutes till the team announcement, Jens.
Oh, nice one. No, I've got a hell of a lot of washing to do today because of the holiday we're heading back to England on Wednesday.
Right.
I'm going to. Yeah, we're only going down to Devon. We're not going to be up.
Not the Man United game.
No, I haven't got anything planned for this season as yet. Start a new job on the 1st of September, so we'll have to see how that goes in regards to getting
your availability
and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm not really. After what happened with Kane, I'm not really that keen on giving that ball to any money. So,
same. We could see it coming down the line, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Hence our decisions.
Exactly.
Well, you never know. Do you know what? Scarlett could be the new Kane. You know, it's starting off the same kind of birthing of a new hero.
A few uninspiring loan moves, but raw potential.
Yeah. Then again, he could be the next Kevin Mahon. So, you know.
Wickham Wanderers would get another player at least.
Yeah.
All right, then, chaps. Anyone want to plug anything before we go?
Nah, I'm all good.
Yep.
No. I normally say our leaky defence, but hopefully that's Van der Vaart sorted that out, doesn't he? Hopefully that.
Let's hope so. Did you see that video of him running all the way from the opposition's box back to his box to do an online clearance? Yeah, he's pretty quick.
That's what I want to see.
So yeah. Anyway, okay then. As always, people, come on, you Spurs, and Levy out.
Come on, you Spurs.
Wrong side. That side. There we go.